Today we will be going to Coachwerks in Victoria, BC that restore classic cars. We will be talking to Mike and Dave about restoration process.
This car spent decades in an open stored area under very high humidity conditions. So it was a very rusty car. From this angle here, so what we've done is rebuilt all the fenders, quarter panels. Dalton's just fitting all the chrome, repairing the aluminum rocker panels, but all this is hand formed and TIG welded in. So this is the seam I'm referring to. That's a butt welded seam. It's not overlapped. So on the inside, it's the same as the outside. And with the TIG weld, it's a soft weld. We can form the panel. We can metal finish it.
Mike, how do you check the gaps on the cars that they are affected? Is it a special tool or how?
It's a gauge. We use a gauge for that. And you know, the 300 SLs, we know what that is. We want to be in the 5 mil range for an accurate gap on a 300 SL. So the body's steel, the doors are aluminum, the rockers are aluminum, hood, trunk, quarter extensions, all aluminum. So it's a mix.
So Mike, when you fabricate a fender, does it affect the value of the car?
Well, to some extent, but done properly, it's an accepted repair in the industry. The only other option is not restore the car.
Yeah.
So, you know, this type of repair is the proper industry standard for a car of this value. This is a very nice color, and this palette is great because you can mix all these different interiors, all these different colors. You know, we put green, blue, red interiors, so it's a very versatile color. And the chrome, it just gets better from here, you know, as you add the jewelry.
Is this a Euro car or is it a US spec?
It's a US spec car that we've converted. So we've gone Euro headlights on this car as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But why do they do Euro headlights? Like, isn't it US better or?
Well, there's a North American standard that, you know, that most of these cars were imported to the US, but owners prefer the look of the Euro lights.
And the bumpers are different as well?
A lot of times I'll bumper at delete, so it's a cleaner look.
Looks like a sports car, like the SLR or something like that they had back then.
Yeah, the SLR was the competition car.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess just trying to get that more streamlined look.
This is a really clean paint job. Wow.
It is. It's a very precise paint job. This job was quite similar to that job. This car came to us. The owner, it was in California being restored. The restoration had gone off the rails. The fellow restoring it, I don't believe was a specialist. He was making modifications and changes to the car that weren't factory. So he heard about us and brought the car to us, and we've corrected all those issues. And what you see here is restored back to factory specifications.
So Mike, when you restore it back to factory, any car, do you match the orange peel as well? Because back in the days, did they have orange peel or did they have?
We don't match the orange peel, no.
I see. Oh, okay.
No, like I say, our process, what comes out the other end is a concourse level finish. And that's what our clients expect with a car of this caliber.
And what's the weight of this car? Like alone, just the body, like this, no engine, nothing, no transmission.
You know, I'm not certain what that would be, but that tubular chassis with the suspension out of it, you could stand in the middle and pick it up yourself. So a very lightweight car.
Oh, I can see he can just move it by one hand.
Yes.
Like, do you still get that feeling which you used to get back in the day, like, you know, when you first started it?
When I talk to folks like yourself, I do. Because then I see it through your eyes and I go over it again. And I do, you know, there's certain projects that we finish up, and yeah, they're very satisfying.
It's a really rewarding feeling, right?
It's a good feeling, you know, but it's a slow process. It's a slow burn. I mean, a lot of these restorations are an 18-month duration.
Oh, wow.
A job of that size.
Please introduce yourself and how did you get into cars, man?
Sure, yeah. My name is David Hargraves. I'm part of the management team here at Coachwerks Restoration. And cars for me have always been a bit of a love affair. You know, as soon as I was able to obtain a driver's license, I bought my first car. And at the age of 18, I decided to do my first restoration in my parents' driveway. They didn't like that idea too much, but little did they know it would turn into a career for me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Which car was it? The first car?
My first car was a 1968 Plymouth Fury, of all things. It wasn't something that I had grown up looking at. It was actually a friend of mine's dad's car. And I saw it in the driveway one day and I said, you know, what are you doing with that? And he said, nah, nothing. It hasn't run in years, and so on and so forth. And I said, I'll give you $175 for it. And at that time, that was all the money in the world, right?
Yeah.
And I took it home and I got it running and driving, drove it for a number of years, and I sold it. I made a little bit of money off of it, and I thought, well, I could get used to this, and here we are 27 years later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you know all about the bodywork and then the engine and everything? You know all the technical stuff as well?
Most of it. I don't want to say I know all, but yeah, I've been around it long enough. I've been in the restoration business now 22 years, and have had the opportunity to learn the process from start to finish. Yeah.
So Mike, Dave, we were talking to Mike, and he showed us the beginning, how the restoration starts.
Yeah.
And then there was like the middle part, the painting and everything without the engine.
Right.
And then he said it goes to this part of the warehouse where you take care of the mechanical and everything. So just tell us about stuff. What do you do here?
Sure, yeah. So when the car comes back from the paint shop, it comes into our facility, and simultaneously while the car is in the paint shop, we're working on all the mechanical stuff over here. So it's kind of like it's a bit of a dance, and there's obviously many partners involved. But so while Mike and his team are working on the body and paint, we're over here sourcing all of the parts for the suspension, for the brakes, for the engines, the transmission, that sort of thing. We build all of those components while the car is being worked on in the body shop. That way, when the car comes back to us, it's ready to have those components installed. As well, on this side, we do the upholstery work. So while the car is having all of the mechanical components installed on it, our upholsterer is doing the upholstery. So he does that in his upholstery room, and then comes in and installs the components as needed. And again, it's a bit of a dance, right? There's many people and many parties involved, and it's a little bit of give and take. So you have to do a little bit of upholstery before you can do a little bit of assembly, and so on and so forth.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Today when you're working on this car, is it like nerve-wracking? Because it's like $1.3 million, right?
You know, we've done so many of these cars now, and we're so familiar with them that I think, you know, in the very beginning, there was a little bit nerve-wracking, but we're so well acquainted with these cars, we know them intimately, that we have no issues working on them whatsoever. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And I know, Dave, you've also restored a couple of alloy body buildings as well, right?
We have, yeah, absolutely. It's a unique opportunity that doesn't come up very often. There's only 29 of those cars in the world, and so having the opportunity to restore 4 of those cars has been pretty incredible for us, for sure.
And I think your car get the highest value in auctions, right? They go for the most, because I saw one sold on Bring a Trailer, and it brought the maximum of money?
Yeah, over the past 20 years that I've been in the business, definitely had the opportunity to see a few world records that have been broken by our cars, and it's pretty exciting stuff for sure. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you also do engine here as well, like engines and transmissions and everything here.
Absolutely, yeah. We do everything in house. The only thing that we subcontract or send out is our chrome plating, and that's strictly for environmental reasons.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dave, for answering all my questions. Man.
You're most welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot.